So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. The Yank here. And today we're having a 2022 Tempranillo, so a 2022. And this is a Laminero. And it is on the sweeter side, but I'm trying to expand my palate un peu, right? Just a little. But it's just a wonderful wine. On the nose, you know, it's just a really sun-kissed, bold berries, right? Red berries. And on the palate, it's just smooth finishing. It's sweet. So make a fantastic dessert wine, which I plan on utilizing it that way in the next couple of days. It'll be the only dessert I have. I just don't do sweets, right? But I'm telling you, this is a really decent wine. There's no tannins, nothing to speak of. It's just so smooth. It's complex. It's deep, deep red. And it might be creating a Bluetooth manufacturing device effect on me, but it really is a fabulous wine. And it would also be really good with something savory on the stove. So maybe to use in making a beef bourguignon, perhaps something along those lines to kind of balance out the savory, the fats. It might be a really nice thing to do there. But yeah, just a symphony on the nose. What a fabulous wine! Even though it's not one that I would just sit and drink. Lucky Gum. Let's hop into our grid. I got to tell you, it felt so good to hear from everybody yesterday. Gosh, I heard from so many, and so many New York Times crossover people wanted to be part of the 1,000 upload experience, right? You know, and it was really just a fun thing. Too bad I got, verifiably Yank slapped on it just because of the Ponferrat cakes or whatever they are. I heard from enough of you to tell me that, hey, they're licorice and you probably wouldn't like them if you don't like anise, and I'm not too big a fan of anise, so maybe it was all the same altogether. No loss. But it's definitely something I have to get into my head. At least it wasn't like the farina that almost took me out on the Monday New York Times. Good Lord. So we have a Guardian Cryptic Crossword 29706. Okay, so for 1002 solves, let's see if we can do it. Dawn's shaking, etc. Being ensnared by siren. Okay. No beer as Dickie is on the drink. So when Dickie's on the drink, there's no beer left? Is that what I think I'm hearing here? One is, in a different form, Unknown Mountain Dweller 4. Is that a Yeti? Unknown Mountain Dweller? Jams broadcast, giving access to the underworld. Jams. Access to the underworld. Well, that would be via the river Styx and Charon. Styx works. We can check it. But that would make this maybe an ibex. So that works kind of too. I got no help here on Dawn's shaking. Ensnared by siren. No beer as Dickie is on the drink. Experience drug overdose. Getting support. Okay, so an overdose. It's probably an OD. Experience drug. Be like on an acid trip of some sort. I don't know. Carriage direction. Direction could be a heading. Could also be a bearing. And bearing could also be one's carriage. I think we have a double definition here. I think that might work. It's going to be so incredibly embarrassing if it does not work. Old capital per se, Polish virtually, or Polish virtually. Don't know. Part of the whole. Embarrassment of relating. Need something. North American news. Family nurse. North American news. So NAN plus family nurse. So I mean, plus tip from family nurse. Tip maybe from family. I mean, I'm thinking this is a nanny. It just feels like a nanny. Male milk producer is over a lot. Okay. Okay. Maybe I don't have nanny here. Criminal in court. Man's not at all like Keats. Man's not at all like Keats. Keats was a romantic poet. Even if you could stretch Englishman into it, which I don't, yeah, so not Keats, not at all like Keats. Part of the whole, what would that be? Relating. Don't know what the old capital is yet. Negative Frenchman in hot region abroad. Negative Frenchman. 8 letters. Feels like a Normandy. And I don't even know what this could be with this Y. Male milk producer is over a lot. Criminal in court. Man's not like Keats. Do I have any help over here? Part of the whole. Could be integral. Could be integral. So what does it give us here? Spotted cloth by rocks. Spotted. Is this a T? Yes, I think this could be blotchy. If I spelled that correct. I don't know if I did. Husband with bear grip. No, I don't know. Criminal in court, not at all like Keats. Well, I guess it could be unromantic. I remember that much about him. Line intersecting Sussex and Kent as an example lacks power. Line intersecting. Finch wrong to restrain runner. Finch. 6 letters. This is that Siska or whatever bird. I don't know. Husband with bear grip. Old capital. See, this looks like we're getting Persepolis. We're getting the old Persian capital. I'm not saying it's out of the possible. Well, good Lord, anything's possible in The Guardian. So, male milk producer is over a lot. It was just not coming over here at all. Maybe myriad? Like over a lot, maybe a myriad of things? Maybe, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm really guessing half the time. Experienced drug overdose, so maybe to trip on, but getting support. Getting support. It feels like it's going to be trip on, but I don't know. We'll play with it. Fellow at stern is very cold. Well, I would put frigid in there. We're getting support could be a tripod. Okay, now I think we're cooking with the Crisco or whatever that old saying is. Any help here? Dawn's shaking, etc. Being ensnared by siren. No beer as. So we got 8 letters. Got the drink won't work because I have a B, and I'm fairly convinced of the B and the river Styx. So, so no beer as would be 8 letters. So to anagram, let's see B. So I think we got a born here. And it's not going to be airborne because I've got an AS and an extra E. Oh, it should be seaborne. Hey. I might have figured that whole clue out. I might have. I still don't get Dickies on the drink, though. Dawn's shaking, etc. Being ensnared by siren. And this, I don't know about you, but this looks like lectured to me. And I don't really see being ensnared by siren. I mean, allured, you know, you get allured. Shaking. Dawn's. I don't know. Just going to put it in. Lectures. Or lectured. Oh. Name involved in racial slur like brain box. I don't see anything with an S. I guess it could be a lecturer or lectured. Name involved in racial slur. So does that mean it's involved in racial slur, but it's not quite all of slur? Like brain box. Brain box would be cranial. That would make that a lecturer. I don't know. Let's go with cranial because I can make out most of it without having all of slur. I can't use the S or the U or the extra R. Well, I don't know what we really got out of slur, to be honest with you. Okay. What did I just type in? I've got tripod here. I want frigid. Hey, can you tell it's been a long day? I tell you, I was violently yanked out of the arms of Morpheus this morning at 5 a.m. I did not want to wake up. I was so blissfully aslumber. But this doesn't help any at all with that. In a way, Brummie is attached to your old gemstone. Neglectfully late, wrapping present fine. Number of times to see the heartless, grasping, filthy rich. Well, the only one that I could fit in there as far as a number would be thrice. So, and I don't get it number of times to see the heartless, grasping, filthy rich. So, but unrefined group needs to change its direction. Unrefined, I have a C. I'm just going to go with crass. That seems like it usually is kind of where we're going with that. Put out hot vents that are concentrated on prey. No idea here. But the biscuit from Sandy's pile could be a ginger snap. And concentrated on prey. Neglectfully late wrapping present. Fine. Brummie is attached to your old gemstone. So this could be an amethyst. If my darling Shotzi were in here, she'd be like, well, how would you know? And I'm like, you don't. You just put it in, and if it's not right, you change it. You know, like this, you don't question the cryptic. You don't mock the cryptic. You don't judge the cryptic. You simply obey. Do as you're told with the guardian cryptic. So put out hot vents that are concentrated on prey. Concentrated on prey, maybe crosshairs? I don't know. I mean, that could be ethereal, you know, fine. One large cut is limiting ex-queen's capital. Ex-queens. Probably got an ER in there. Ex-Regina. Yeah, I really think we've got ethereal here, so might as well put it in and see what it gives us. This is capital. I can't think of any money. Rule soundly applied to trip that puts a damper on things. 8. Finch wrong to restrain runner. And this is it's a siskin or something. I cannot remember how to say that bird. Line intersecting Sussex and Kent, etc. lacks power. I'm just going to put a secant in here because it's what I'm thinking it is. I know we're talking about a cosine formula, but you know, we got a line intersecting, and it, by definition, right? I mean, that's really, you don't question the cryptic. You don't mock the cryptic. So, husband with bear grip. I'm just surprised we've gotten as far as we did. I'm sure we got something wrong in here, though. I'm sure I got something fat-fingered. Wind in roof. Oh, no. Relief, affordable, housing, fuss. Husband with bear grip. Rule soundly applied to trap. I'm going to try to put a siskin. I think that's what it is. Siskin. Soundly applied to trip that puts a damper on things. Husband with bear grip. That may be just a little too abstruse for me today. This one large cut is limiting ex-queen's capital. Could be Algiers, the more I'm looking at it. Doesn't make any sense to me except for the Regina. Rule soundly applied. Soundly applied. damper on things. I guess this could be weather, maybe a rainfall. And I haven't got a clue what this housing fuss is, and at all. Wind in roof. Don't know either. Husband with bear grip. See this L down here? It looks like we could have ourselves to hand hold, but I don't. No, and I don't know what the housing fuss is, and I'm not going to make everybody stay late. I mean, the bell rang 10 minutes ago, so we better let everybody to class, right? Let's go ahead and just check what we've got. And I don't see any holes that I didn't mean for there to be. So, wind and roof, oh no. So let's reveal that word. A fern? Literally a fern? That's a German word for a hairdryer. Do we do German words in here that aren't like, say, Auf Wiedersehen or something? I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen anything to that level. Fern. Yeah, ein Fern. It's a hairdryer. But the O would have umlauts, and there's no umlauts in here, so yeah, I don't know. Interesting though. Maybe there's a British word that's just phone. I don't know. And I still have no clue what this is. I tried to say fluff and fuss before, and I got fuff, and I'm sure it's not fuff. So what do we got? I mean, I haven't got a clue. Housing fuss? A faff? Okay. So, faff? I gotta figure out what a faff is, and I gotta figure out how y'all mean fern. And I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly for the English, but in German, the O would have umlauts, and it would be fern. So interesting. Oh well. To say that was a bit abstruse, fine. Faff I've never heard of in my entire life. Not once have I ever heard that word. I've obviously heard of fern. I barely remembered the siskin. And, you know, on the whole, I don't understand Algiers. I kind of get Seaborn. I don't get lecturer at all. Cranial we were able to figure out. Ethereal made sense by the definition. The crosshairs I figured out. Crass was just crass, and thrice was the only one that would fit. I thought amethyst was great. Unromantic was good, and not at all like Keats with the exclamation mark, and Amiria. I mean, a wonderful fill today. I mean, fantastic job, Brummie. But I've never heard of a faff or a foff or however that goes. But what a pleasure it was, right? You know, this is really good stuff. And I'm gonna learn essentially 2 new words, maybe, or maybe 1 new word and a new meaning for the other one. That's not bad, you know. And of course, I'll be doing my homework to figure out how this other stuff works. I mean, the reason I'm getting maybe just a slightly bit better is because I am learning, and that's what makes it all worthwhile. So let's bring down our Benny Jadu, and we'll go ahead and bring everything to a close. Again, my name is Christopher. I'm delighted you were here to watch me fail horribly at this grid. But it was great to have you here no matter what. And I always feel like the most unbelievable amount of support from this community, just the community as a whole. I just love what we've built here. So if we've got anyone that wants to maybe do a few solves when vacation comes up pretty soon, we'd like to maybe go somewhere before it gets too terribly hot. It won't ever get really hot here in Bavaria, but it does get warm in other places like Italy and Spain and so forth. I guess if we have to wait too long, we'll just be going to Iceland or something. But, you know, it'll be fine either way. Until we see you tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Take care of yourselves and try to be nice to strangers when at all possible. Cheers.